We're going to receive the Paramount Chief, a senator and a business leader. Il est chef supérieur de la chefferie Barford de combat, vice-président de la Chambre de commerce, d'industrie et mines artisanales du Cameroun, sénateur homme d'affaires. He's a traditional ruler of the Barford Kingdom of Kumba, the vice president of the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce. He's a senator. He embodies the bridge between tradition, governance, and modern economic development. Let us introduce on stage the Paramount Chief, His Majesty, from Ekoko, MUKETE 4. Please, l'applaudissement bien fort. His Majesty.
Wow. I am truly honored by this opportunity. I'm truly honored to see my colleagues, traditional rulers, coming all the way from Cameroon, and some who are based here. And I'm truly honored to see some of my tribes, people, right there, number 4. Really, and of course, I'm very honored to have a quick word, I think. Yes, I was asked to just have a remark to address the diaspora, friends of Cameroon, essentially, to say a few things. I don't know what cap I should be wearing. I've played the traditional ruler. I think you want me to play the business, the entrepreneur, the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce. I happen to be the first vice president of the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce, and I'm one of the longest serving members there for five terms. And over that time, I've been on road shows across here, Japan, several times to the US, where it's Prime Minister. And I've seen the community, I've seen the transformation over time. I've also seen some down times where the diaspora, the Cameroon diaspora, has looked at a negative perspective in the sense of bad news here and there. But I've also seen that it's just a few people, and then there's this silent majority who believes in Cameroon, who believes in the opportunities that Cameroon does offer, and who believe in their culture, and who we really are. 237, the continent, they're all other names given Africa in nature. It's not just names, it's not just slogans, it's the reality. Cameroon, you would notice, myself, I was also in banking. I was chairman of one of the Pan-African banks. I don't want to call names. And I left as chairman in Cameroon to become chairman in Congo Brazzaville. And all the time I was like, man, so isn't there Cameroon, Congolese who could be president of the bank? But what struck me was the ability, was the fact, the diversity. And what struck me was the fact that those boundaries of Africa, Nigeria, Congo Brazzaville, Congo Kinshasa, Chad, Central African Republic, Equatorial Guinea, and so on. You know, these boundaries are just man-made. The reality is that we're one, we're the same people, and that goes for Cameroon itself, that diversity. And I want to say, essentially, you here in America, many of you are doing great. Many of you are excelling. I've seen Cameroonians professors in China. I've seen Cameroonians in Korea. I've seen Cameroonians in Vietnam, in Hanoi. I've seen perform and excel. In Southern Africa, Cameroonians standing, leading the edge. I've seen Cameroonians advising several different governments. I've seen Cameroonians managing the assets, the sovereign fund of Japan. I've seen this. I'm so often that we don't know ourselves, and perhaps we underestimate ourselves. But I think when we have an occasion like this, when Christoph Tapper stands up, with friends and supporters and all of you standing behind you to put together this CCFNA, it just shows the capacity of Cameroonians and what you can do. And I think this is what we should use as a point of contact to do even more. because Africa is a great continent. And what we see today is actually, yes, it's happening here because it's manifesting before us, but it's actually the past. And I tell people all over what happens essentially, the decisions are made at a spiritual level. By the time you see it, it's already past. And what you should be focusing on is actually the future. And the future is indeed bright, because the future is on the younger people, the younger Cameroonians who are yearning to come back home, who are yearning to get this cultural linkage, who are yearning to want to know more. Daddy, daddy, you know, can you take me to Cameroon? And I've seen so many, you know, Cameroonians grown here, children who have been born here, and their children are the ones asking them. I remember one young tennis player, the boy, I think he's one of the best in year 12. He is just trashing everybody. There are about 4 or 5 young Cameroonians who are leading the way in tennis in the United States and in the world. We don't know about that. But one of them said to me, I said, it was saying to the dad, he came out with details that I want to go to Cameroon. And he came out with, I want to go to Konsamba to see these giant frogs. I want to go here. He had already gone online and searched sites in Cameroon and things to do in Cameroon. And it was coming areas that sometimes I've even forgotten about, or perhaps we take for granted. But here's a young boy who is born in America, never been to Cameroon, crying to his father, Dad, I want to go to Cameroon, and did his research online, and indeed he went. And I was so happy to be part of his visit to Cameroon. And this is the message. This is what CCFNA is trying to pull out from us, bring from the inside, in our instinct. And we should take it a lot more seriously, because it's bigger than it looks. Yeah. I will not go on and on because we have much more time, but in terms of that creativity, that business ethic, sometimes people say in Cameroon, but all these very enterprising people, the Bamile Keys and all the other various tribes engaging in business, in spite of all the hurdles of doing business, but people never stop. They just keep pushing the boundaries of enterprise. And when we sit in the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce, we're thinking about what to do. Sometimes I think, what could we really do? We are linked to the government in a sense, because the Cameroon Chamber of Commerce is a Latin type of chamber, and in a sense gets a grant from the state, from the government of Cameroon. The Secretary General is appointed. The president of the chamber, our Chamber of Commerce, we go into an election, and out of us, if there are 160 members, the head of state chooses who will be the president. So our president gets appointed by the head of state, and then it's from the vice president onwards that you get, I'm the first vice president, so I'm the highest elected official in the chamber. And what happens, obviously, is that the private sector likes that because it gives you access to the public sector, because the public sector is so powerful. And even you, if you come as a member of the diaspora, you came to do business in Cameroon, you cannot ignore the government. Because, I mean, it's a gorilla in the room. It's huge in terms of contracts. You want road contracts. You want to supply to hospitals. So you cannot ignore government. And maybe you can say it's a bad thing. Maybe you can say it's a good thing. The question, the glass is either half empty or half full. But the reality is that if you're going to do good business in Cameroon, eventually you probably will need to be friendly. You will need to do business with the state, to do the big numbers. That is just how most developing countries are. Don't hate it. Don't criticize it and make it look as if it's a demon. It's a reality and might be your path to great success and great entrepreneurship. And these are the realities which I want to encourage you to think about, because it is a reality, and that reality is good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your speech. Nous allons poursuivre avec